There we go. So I'm not going to do a lot of PowerPoints, but I thought it might be fun to do a little bit. So the workshop is Energetic NLP in the Creative Process, Finish and Release. And the whole theme for today is that so many of us, I mean, getting started is a whole other issue, but for many, many, many of us, finishing and actually releasing something into the world so it has its own life, so people can have it and you know, and it can do good in the world. For many of us, that's a real big problem. And we do it, of course, sometimes, but often it's a struggle. And you know, you hear about authors who like nothing gets published till after they're dead and stuff. And some of some of the best authors and stuff. So I'd like you to enjoy this while you are alive. And we're going to be using the term miraculous self a lot. I will explain that more later. And I just wanted to let you know that I have a number of guided energetic NLP audios and videos in my website, which is www.enlp7.com. Now, I think the call is pretty evenly divided between people who know me very well or know me a little bit and people that don't know me at all. So I am going to go through and give a little bit of my background, who I am. One of the things that they talk about when you do workshops is you do need to address, for the people that don't know you, is like, why in the world should they listen to you? So I will give some of my background, a little bit of background on NLP, energetic NLP. But I promise you that by the end of the call, we will have done a lot of very effective and powerful energy work, and you won't be wanting any more for today. I would also like to say, because it's recorded, it gives you an opportunity to go through it again. And one thing I stress in my energetic NLP programs is more and better are not the same thing. Your own inner wisdom and spirit, what we call your miraculous self, will know what's the right amount for you at any one time. So don't try to max this out. Just relax, have fun, and trust that your own inner wisdom and spirit, again, your miraculous self, will do the right amount for you. And the right amount means that it's causing significant changes in your life, but it doesn't throw off your life. And when you do too much at one time, it can be really hard to adapt to. Sometimes people have temporary physical issues, or just all kinds of things can come up. Some people call it a growth period, meaning it not in a positive way, meaning you pushed it so hard that rather than an elegant, nice change, it's like, you know, challenging and difficult. And because it's recorded, you can do it in pieces. And you won't have to listen to the whole thing every time. I'm going to divide it into a few different pieces so you can focus on the ones you want. And I'll just say I lead energetic NLP workshops and teleworkshops and now video workshops, training programs, one-to-one remote sessions with people in the United States, UK, Europe, Asia, and South America. Energetic NLP is a unique blend of intuition development, transformative energetic work, and NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. And I just made this little graphic. Some people enjoy these kind of graphics, just showing it involves spirituality, clairvoyance, healing, intuition, energetic NLP, personal growth. My mission in life is to enable people to open their hidden miraculous abilities so they can lead happier and more successful lives, have more personal and spiritual growth, be healthier, more vital, have better relationships, and contribute more of their unique essence to the world. I truly believe that every single person on this planet has amazing abilities. And even those of us who maybe have a pretty good ego, I promise you the abilities you have go way beyond your wildest ego-driven fantasies. And as you open up to them, it becomes, one of the things that we stress is having it in a spiritual perspective. So it isn't about your ego. It is about manifesting this incredible being you are more and more and more in your life. And that's the goal of energetic NLP, that people integrate their inner wisdom and spirit, their miraculous self, into every facet of their lives. I'm going to skip all that. So for today's themes, one of the questions to ask yourself, are you willing to keep putting off your dreams? or is it time to start fulfilling your heart's desires? In energetic NLP, I never ask people to accept my beliefs. The goal in energetic NLP, again, is you connect with your miraculous self and have more of your wisdom and your spiritual information. So I express ideas and beliefs to get processes going, and not with the intention that you're going to end up with what I said, but that it will get you thinking, both consciously, unconsciously, and even spiritually, and that you will come up with your own truth and your own answers. I saw on Facebook this morning somebody put up a little picture of somebody meditating, and it said, "Some answers you can't get from Google." And I thought that was very timely. So most of us have a sense that there's something much greater to us than we're aware of. And again, in energetic NLP, we call that your miraculous self. It's when your inner wisdom and your spirit work together. And in my opinion, when you're just connecting with your spirit itself, it has such a 90 billion miles away viewpoint of life and such a huge perspective that the information from your spirit is incredible. And sometimes it's a little out of touch with our human experience. It isn't that your spirit doesn't care about your human experience, but it just sees everything so differently and sees everything as a beautiful unfolding, where your inner wisdom is really in touch with what it's like to be you in a body in this lifetime. So when your inner wisdom and spirit work together, you get the advantage of that 90 billion mile spiritual view with the practical view of your inner wisdom. So I'm going to switch back to the other window. Give me a moment. Oh, shoot. I didn't need to click on that. Hang on. All right. Whoops. Give me 1 minute. I'm sorry. Give me a minute to get this to work right. Ah, nope. Almost there. Google doesn't always make things very simple, unless I it worked when I tried it before, so give me 1 moment. Yep. That wasn't it. I do apologize. I've been practicing this thing for days, but it's still quite challenging. One moment. Oh, that maybe will do it. Ah, finally. It was also simple when I tried it before. Okay, so thanks for bearing with all that. In energetic NLP, we almost always follow a certain pattern, and it's based on a model or a theory that says you have an energy field in your body and around your body. Many people call that chakras and auras. I tend to use the term energy centers and energy field. And something that a lot of people aren't aware of is we're kind of like sponges, and we've been absorbing energies from other people at least since you were in your mother's womb. And the people have been programming us at least since you were in your mother's womb. Your parents programmed you. They were programmed unconsciously to program any children that they had. And that's not a bad thing. If children weren't programmed into whatever family, society, village they're born into, they were getting a lot of trouble. So it is the role of the parents to program you, and not just the parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, neighbors. Everybody's constantly programming us, and you've been programming people too. Again, it's a natural human phenomenon. And so what happens is we collect all this energy in our energy field, and energy contains information. It's not just pure energy. It actually contains information. So what we're getting is thoughts, opinions, emotions, do's, don'ts, shoulds, shouldn'ts from other people. And because we haven't been trained how to differentiate our own energy from other people, what often happens is that we think that we're, what's the word I'm trying to use? Well, we think that everything we feel is our own emotion. We think that everything we think is our own thought. Well, the truth is, we think thoughts that are other people's thoughts, and we don't notice the difference. We have emotions that are other people's emotions. In fact, any emotion that you have a lot of trouble with in your life, particularly if you've worked on it and can't seem to improve it, it's probably because most of the energy of that emotion isn't yours. So let's say a problem with anger, where you may have absorbed anger from your parents, from other people. Then when you feel angry, all of their energy comes up, and so it's hard to handle, and we can't heal it because it's not our stuff. So one of the big goals in many energy systems, including energetic NLP, is to more and more clear other people's energy and programming out of your space and replace it with your own inner wisdom, your own energy. And so that's really the goal here, is that you replace it with your own thoughts and your own energies. And so we're always doing clearing, and we're always doing healing, because there's a lot of old traumas and issues that people have. We try to change limiting beliefs and old programming. I shouldn't say try to, we do change it. And then the third part of energetic NLP is about opening and enhancing the amazing abilities that you already have. So give me one moment just to check on something, see if everybody looks okay. By the way, if you're on Facebook, where it says comments, I think it's a little different for you. Wait a minute. If you refresh that every now and then, you'll be able to see the comments. And thank you to Joni and Sharon and Mira. And then on and all those of you that are on the Google page can also chat and make comments. And I will periodically try to read them, answer questions. Late in the call, I can actually give people a link, and you could come on. If you have a video, you can even come on video and share experience or ask questions. So again, I thank you for bearing with me with the roughness of this call. Originally, I was just going to do a pilot call and not include anybody on it. But I thought, well, that's kind of a waste of time. So I thought better to have one maybe that's a little rough, and but still people can get benefit from. Okay, I'm just going to check comments here. Oh. Zina's just letting me know that on her Android phone it didn't work, but she was able to get on with the computer. I'm quite sorry about that. Okay, just looking if there's any other questions so far. Okay, don't see any. So pretty soon we're going to get started with our first processes. And get back to this other window. So, you know, one of the questions is, well, why don't we finish things? Because if you think about it, I think it's a natural human phenomenon to want to finish things. If you look with children, like they want to finish a game, they want to finish a video, they want to finish whatever. And some of us who have trouble finishing our projects can't stand to not see the end of a TV show or movie. There's something about completion and moving on. It's a natural human phenomenon. There's something about being creative and letting things flow. Not something there's everything about that's a natural human phenomenon. And again, if you look at children, it's what they're doing all the time. So the question becomes, not that we need to develop these abilities, but we just need to clear what blocks us from them and then open up these abilities. Now, a lot of us suffer from some form of perfectionism. And what makes perfectionism so difficult is what's really going on is mainly unconscious. In, in NLP, not energetic NLP, but NLP, we study a lot about beliefs and the way beliefs tier down to deeper and deeper beliefs. And underneath perfectionism is usually extremely, extremely emotionally intense beliefs. Like, if I don't do it right, I'm not lovable and nobody will ever love me and I'll be alone forever. Or I have no right to exist if I don't do it perfectly. Or I don't have a right to take up space. You know, I don't have a right to be here. I mean, things on that level. Or and so there's a lot about or we're not worthy, we're not good enough. So people consciously aren't typically aware of it, but your unconscious mind is just freaking out because what's at risk is everything. The other sets of beliefs tend to be that things that people will do to us if they don't like what we did, which could be, you know, kill us, torture us, shame us, humiliate us forever, enslave us. I mean, you know, we have thousands and thousands of years of human history that if people didn't like your behavior, you could get in really, really big trouble. And if they didn't like what you said or wrote or did or painted, you could get in life-threatening trouble, but at least shame and humiliation. Now, we live in a time, and most of us live in countries where, you know, that's just not the situation. In fact, being controversial can make you rich and famous nowadays. But still, we have this deep energetic programming. So in a moment, we're going to do our first clearing. Now, if you're new to energetic NLP, a couple of things. One is it's not about effort. It's about allowing, or we call it, use the word permission. So it's about having intention, giving permission, and then being playful and just see what happens. Paradoxically, the easier and more playful you are, the stronger it will be. I remember in a class I was in years ago, they had us do this energetic process where you would dissolve old programming. And we did it. And then they said, now do it again, but use a tenth as much energy. And we were all shocked that it worked better. Then they said, now to use a tenth, in other words, a hundredth of the original energy. And they kept having us do it. And the less effort, the less energy we used, the easier it was. So this is a no effort zone. And the other thing is just know that when you do energetic and spiritual work, the programming that's trying to keep you enslaved to other people's opinions will try to protect itself. Now, when I say enslaved to other people's opinions, I don't think it's bad or wrong. All societies were authority-based. And there's all this programming to do what people tell you, do what the authorities, the elders tell you. Now, when you're a child, that probably makes a great deal of sense. And the kind of people that are attracted to energetic NLP are people that know that they're, on some level, there's this amazing being. They want to manifest that, and they know that they really can't live their lives by other people's truths. Doesn't mean we need to be opposed to other people's truths, but we need to be in touch with our own. And there's very few people who ever come to any of my programs who don't really very strongly feel that need to contribute to the world authentically out of their inner wisdom and spirit, out of their miraculous self. So what happens, though, is it's a little bit like when you get a computer virus. Some computer viruses have programs in them that protect the virus. I remember I got one years ago, and it shut down my virus checker. You know, it's like, and part of me went, well, that's clever. So you do things, and then they try to defend themselves. In a similar way, much of the programming you have tries to defend you, and that defense takes the form of resistance. And a lot of people think that resistance is a bad thing, and they also see it as a sign of whether they're on the path or not. So a lot of people believe that, oh, if I'm on my spiritual path, everything flows and the doors open and it's all synchronistic. And certainly that's true a lot of the time. And in the energetic NLP programs, we teach people to have more positive synchronicities in their lives and more flow. But often when you're really about to make a big change, it's the opposite. Things go wrong, things get in your way, because the programming is trying to protect itself, or you get sleepy all of a sudden, or suddenly you don't have time. In the energetic NLP programs, I'll teach people to do these processes that just take 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night. And sometimes people can't find time. Now, they may have watched TV for an hour, but they can't find time. And, and I've had the same experience. And it isn't that you can't find time. It's just that the programming keeps telling you, oh, you don't have time, or you have to do this. It's a little bit like, at least when I was in university, during finals week, oh, I have to write that letter I didn't write my parents, and oh, I need to clean my room. And you see people do all these things that they've been putting off for 3 months, but they have to do it right now because it was better than studying math or organic chemistry or English literature. So when resistance comes up, don't resist it. Just go, that's interesting. And you can even get to the point where you go, oh, good, I must be up to something really important because my resistance is coming up. So you only need to do a couple of things in this call. One is to set your intention, and in this case, the intention that we're going to finish more and release our work into the world so that it can do good and help us and help the world. And the other part is, so to have that intention, and the other part is to give permission for it to happen. So in a couple minutes, we're going to start working with a lot of very powerful energies. And your own miraculous self, your inner wisdom and spirit, will be in charge of what happens for you. So everybody will be having their own individual experience of the energy. And I really urge you to give permission to your miraculous self, your wisdom and spirit, to be completely in charge. Because if you can't trust your inner wisdom and your spirit, what in the world could you trust? And they're much more on top of it than your conscious mind. And they know what your conscious mind wants. So giving 100% permission for your miraculous self to use the energies that come in to clear old programming and beliefs, to heal old traumas and issues related to not finishing things, and to open up and enhance your natural abilities, the natural flow of being able to be creative and finish and release. There's one more part, I'll just mention it right now, we'll work on it later, is and it's interesting, the woman who wrote the book Eat, Pray, Love, she has a wonderful video in one of those TED Talks. It's only about 18 minutes, and she's talking about creativity. And one thing she talks about is sometimes it really comes from inside of you, but other times it feels like it's given to you. And she mentions one woman, a very famous poet, and the woman described it as almost like a wind coming across, and she can sort of feel a poem coming. And she has to run somewhere where she can write it down, because when it hits, it just hits, and it's there. And I think she did say she learned one time to kind of go, now wait until I can get a pencil or something. But people have always talked about channeling or inspiration or the muses. So people have recognized that the creativity comes from inside of us, but sometimes it's a gift. And one of the things I'd like us to do on this session is also, if you want it, have the intention to open up to more of that incredible gift of creativity being given to you. A lot of people, like authors, talk about, they go, it's like the book just was there, I just had to write it down. J.K. Rowling, who did the Harry Potter books, it all just came to her, the whole series, just in this whole vision. Mozart would just write down the music because he heard it. So again, it's about using our inner resources and creativity, but also being able to tap into these gifts that are there. Again, depending on your own beliefs, where you think they come from. Okay, so have the intention that as a result of what we're doing today, you're going to greatly enhance your ability to finish and release things, knowing that you may need to listen to parts of this again, go through the processes again to really strengthen that. And give 100% permission for your miraculous self to use the energies that are coming in, and to use them in such a way that you can, that it will clear old blocks, programming, other people's energy, heal old wounds and traumas, and open up your miraculous self into your life, and open up your amazing abilities to create and finish and release. And I'm just, those of you that are new to my work, one of the things I teach a lot in energetic NLP is remote energy work. So, and that sounds like this mysterious thing. When you get into it, you realize it's very, very ordinary. And just with the briefest explanation, in physics, they talk about energies that are non-local, meaning they're everywhere at once. Well, you can tap into human energies that are essentially non-local, so that, like I work with people all the time that are 3,000 to 6,000 miles away from me, and it's not any different than if we're in the same room. Energetically, it's exactly the same. So every now and then, I'm going to pause, and I'm trying to get a sense of the group's energy, and very often I adjust what I'm doing to fit the themes of the group and what's going on with the group. And if you are on the Facebook page, you know, you can use the comments section to ask me questions or share experiences or ask for help. On the, I believe on the Google page, you should be able to also use the chat function there, the comment function. Again, I apologize. I've been practicing with this a lot, but when you're the host, things are different, and I don't always know for sure what's happening for other people. So, and ultimately, it won't matter if you have a question or want some help. Just think it at me, and I'm not saying consciously, but on some level, I'll pick it up. Okay, so give me one moment to adjust something. Make sure this is working. Yeah, so the comments are working. Somebody let me know they could see the slides just fine. So please use that. And then there's also the Facebook page. Okay, so everybody take an easy deep breath. Now, I will describe things often as visualizations. And for those of you that don't visualize well, it's irrelevant whether you visualize consciously. Unconsciously, your miraculous self can see everything just fine. So if you see it in pictures and flaming holographic letters, that's fine. If you think of it in words, it works every bit as well. If you kind of get the feel of it, that works. If none of those are happening for you and just pretend it's happening, it works just as well as anything else. So we're going to set our group energy space. Imagine a giant gold ball of energy, and that all of us are inside of it. And this is our creative process, finish, and release space. And at the end of the call, we'll dissolve it. And by the way, that doesn't mean we're mixing up all of our energies. It's like if we were all in a room together having a party, it doesn't mean we have to mix our energies up. It just means we're in a space together and we're creating an energy field together. So the gold ball is this energy field that we're all in. And let's set the intentions for that. The intention is that every single one of us, and I'd like you to hold this intention, every single one of us, whether they're listening to the live broadcast or if they're listening to the recording, that every single one of us will get an incredible enhancement in our ability to finish and release, whatever that means for that person. So please hold that intention and give 100% permission for all of us to really, really benefit. And again, resistance may come up, like, well, is it possible, or am I doing it right, or maybe it'll work for other people, but not for me, blah, 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 I'm not worthy. And the way to deal with that resistance for right now is just to, if a lot of you are familiar with the concept of mindfulness, just notice it. Don't fight it, don't feed it, just go, uh-huh. The resistance has absolutely no power unless you give it power by fighting it. Just go, uh-huh. You know, it's like if you were driving a car with a young child to the doctor, and the young child went, "You have to stop the car right now, and we're going home." but it was important to go to the doctor, you'd go, oh, I understand. You're scared, and we're going to the doctor. Um, yeah, a little bit like that, but even more neutral, like, okay, I hear you, and I am going to change these things. So again, imagine giving 100, not imagine, state in your mind, I'm giving 100% permission for my miraculous self to use these energies to greatly enhance my ability to finish and release. So that's looking better. Those of you that are sensitive to energy can probably feel the difference. Now imagine the earth is sending energy up into our gold ball, grounding each one of us and grounding our space and sending up nurturing energies, because everything that gets created in our physical world uses earth energy. And then according to your own beliefs, imagine spiritual help coming into the gold ball. Whatever that means to you. And if you have no spiritual beliefs, then you can believe nothing's coming in. But if you believe in God or goddess or angels or guides or Vishnu, Shiva, or Buddha, or Queen Yan is a saint, or whatever you believe. Just the important thing is ask for help and give 100% permission. Ooh, that's good. To accept it. Now, you as a spiritual being always have the ability to go, I give permission, period, no matter what the resistance says. Okay, so we're finally ready to start our first really big clearing. Now, all you need to do is give permission and relax. Put your miraculous self in charge and let the energy start flowing in you, in your body, in your energy field. Clearing old programming, beliefs, other people's energy and limitations, old fears. If you believe in past lives, you can imagine the energy clearing out um, limiting influences from past lives. And remember, your energy field is sort of like an egg shape around you. It goes above your head, 3 meters, 9 feet, below your feet, at least 1 meter, 3 feet, in front of you, behind you, left and right. So your energy field is in that whole field, and it's also in your body and in your energy centers. So just let the energy work wherever it needs to work to start clearing the blocks to finishing and releasing. And thank you to everybody who said hi. I apologize when you hear clicks, but I need to go between screens, and so you'll hear when I'm clicking. To go between Facebook, Google Plus, and some other things. Okay, easy deep breaths, and we're going to turn up the strength of the energy. Remember, no effort, just permission. Sorry, somebody's having some problems. I just trying to type them a solution. Easy deep breaths. Right now, for everybody, the energy is really concentrating in the crown energy center on top of your head. There's a tremendous amount of programming in everybody's crown. The goal is you want to get rid of programming and beliefs, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion. But there's no vacuum created, because as you let go of the programming and beliefs, your miraculous self, which again is your spirit and your inner wisdom, immediately replace these old programming and beliefs and other people's programming and beliefs with your inner wisdom and with your spiritual information. When I say your spiritual information, not what you consciously think necessarily, but what your spirit is trying to tell you. So the more programming and beliefs that you shift, the more you can live your life out of your own wisdom and spirit. And again, faster is not always better, more is not always better. Your miraculous self will do just the right amount. The energy is also working a lot in people's heart's energy centers, and their first energy center, which is the base of the spine, the root energy center. And the connection there, so the crown energy center has a lot to do with your connection to your spirit and to spirit. Your heart energy center has a lot to do with how you bring spirit and the earth together, your physical life and non-physical life. Words always sort of fail. They come together in your heart. Your heart, of course, is also, you can think of it as the center of your heart's desires, what you truly want to do in life, what your spirit and wisdom hunger for you to do, what your soul hungers for you to do. And the heart is just full of programming and shielding and protection. And let your miraculous self clear any of that it thinks would be good for you. We tend to build up all these layers and layers of protection in our heart, and at one time we needed them. And unfortunately, we don't have some automatic mechanism as we grow and evolve through life that just goes, oh, I don't need that anymore. Or maybe that was never mine. That was my father's or my mother's, or again, if you believe in past lives, from another lifetime even. So just set the intention and give permission that your heart energy center is going to be rejuvenated and made more and more authentic and made more and more so that your heart's desires just flow out into your lives. And I personally don't believe fulfilling your heart's desires is only one way to do it. Whatever you're doing, whether it's mundane or profound, can be in alignment with your heart's desires or not. So easy deep breath. Another easy deep breath would be great. The energy is working all around you now. Now the energy is going to change a bit. So take an easy deep breath. I'm going to be working with some different energies. Now the energies are going to change and be very significantly different. And the emphasis on these energies is more about the um, opening up your miraculous self more into your life, opening up your natural desire and flow to finish things and release them into the world. That's in all of us. So these energies will sort of open that door so it's more present. And the energies will open more of that door to uh, that spiritual help that, again, that artists, painters, writers, every business people talk about it. Just this incredible flow of energy that provides often answers and ways to do things and directions to go and visions. So, easy deep breath. Remember, no effort. And also keep in mind, there's a lot of versions of this. Sometimes people use the word grace. And the idea behind concepts like grace is is to counter to the normal program when we get to, are you worthy, are you deserving? And grace is saying that spirit helps us because it wants to, because it loves us, not because we're worthy or deserving. There was this pretty awful movie called, I think, Fred Claus that I saw on a plane. And Fred Claus is Santa Claus's brother, who's a real screw up and everything. And comes to North Pole and almost ruins everything. You ever see the movie? This wouldn't ruin anything. It's not that deep of a plot. But I have a theory that no matter how stupid a movie is, there's going to be at least one profound line in it. And Fred Claus is talking to Santa Claus, and he goes, "You know how, like, if a child is bad, you give them a lump of coal? Well, maybe that's wrong. Maybe every child should get a gift, and maybe they would become better." And I remember thinking, in this incredibly stupid movie, here's this very profound moment because, we all accept the idea of Santa Claus being punishing children, which is pretty bizarre when you think of the spirit of Christmas. Here's jolly old Santa Claus deciding who's good and bad and punishing them. And of course, again, the idea of grace is the spirit wants you to do these wonderful things. So really, yeah, okay, that helped. Just open up to the possibility. Okay, take some easy deep breaths. And we want to be really grounded. We're going to do some more energy work before we finish. There's a lot of ways to ground. The way I'd like you to do it right now is to let the earth do all the work. And what grounding is connecting your energy field to the energy field of the earth, so you get the nurturing and help and support of the earth. If you look at people that are really good at anything practically, like athletes or singers or anything, writers, business people, very often they get really grounded. You can see them that just, they're here, they're present. The earth's part of them, they're part of the earth. So imagine a tube of energy, at least 3 feet, a meter wide, and let the earth send it up from the heart of the earth, and let the earth do all the work. Let it come near the base of your spine, not touch the base of your spine, but near it. And give the earth permission to only connect with your true energy. So again, if we have these energy fields that are full of energies that aren't necessarily ours, you don't want to ground other people's energy into you. Give the earth permission to only ground your energy into you. And a really nice way to visualize that, or think of it, is you can pretend that in your energy body, there's a point of light for every cell in your physical body. So in your energy body, there's a point of light for every cell in your physical body. And when the earth grounds you, every point of light goes in the cell it belongs in. Just like pop. And all the other energies stay floating. And then give the earth permission, working with your miraculous self, to start drawing out of your space other people's energy, whatever energies, again, your miraculous self wants you to release right now. So the earth is vacuuming out of you other people's energies, and then the earth is in return filling you with more of your energy and with supportive earth energies, supportive, nurturing earth energies. Okay, and then we're going to take, not a break, but we're going to be doing some things before we do the next process. It's good to like pat your body, you can stomp your feet, stretch a little bit, all these things that will help ground you, get you back in your body. One thing I didn't mention before, we're working with really high frequency energies. If you're new to this, it's perfectly okay if you don't remember anything that I said. It's all recorded. You can watch it later. Often people do the best work when they space out, because that means you're letting go of conscious control and you're going to a higher energy level where magical things can happen. So if you're going, I don't remember much of what happened, that's great. I mean, if you remember it, it's fine too, but it's really great if you don't. While we were doing it, you may have temporarily felt some aches or pains or something. If they haven't gone away, use the comment box and let me know either in Facebook or Google Plus, and I'll help you. You may have had muscle twitches. They're called kriyas, and they're a way to release energies. You may yawn or feel tired. If you feel tired, it should be what I call good tired, meaning, you just kind of want to curl up in a ball and go to sleep. It's not like being beat. It's just, what it means is your energy is really processing. So I would invite you now, if you have any comments on what happened or any questions or want any help, go ahead and put those comments in the box now. And all of you are hearing me, I think, about a minute after I'm actually speaking. So from my end, things will seem like they're taking a long time. So if you have something to say, the sooner you say it, the better, or I'll just think nobody's saying anything. And the other thing is, feel free to share experiences. Sharing an experience isn't bragging, it's opening up possibilities for other people. So if something really wonderful happened for you and you mention it, then everybody else, including me, can go, oh, I would like my miraculous self to open up to some kind of similar experience. Okay, so I'm going to click around and see if I can check people's messages. Give me a minute. Um, Again, you can, if you're on Facebook, you can use the normal post box to post comments or ask me things. And if you're on Google Plus, you can use the comments part there. Lisa's saying really sleepy now. And again, Lisa, that's actually a really good sign. When we're processing energy, if you're doing it deeply, there'll be desire on the part of your miraculous self and your unconscious mind to really go deeply inside and just process it. So if you feel sleepy, that's really, really good. By the way, this is a good time to mention, when you listen to the recordings, if you do, um, if you pretend the energies are flowing while the recordings are going, they will. And how that works is a whole long story. So you never listen to the recordings in a moving vehicle, and you always do some place where it's safe to get sleepy if you get sleepy. Nandini's saying the energies around my crown center the energy around my crown center was very intense, like something was being pulled out. Feel good now. Thank you, Art. You're very welcome, and you're welcome to Hans too. Yeah, it looks like you created an incredible amount of space in your crown energy center, which is really wonderful, and it looks like your miraculous self has plans for it. So yeah, that's incredible. Okay, let's see if our Facebookers are saying anything. One moment. One second. Ah, there you guys are. Okay. High art question. Would this creativity releasing in any way be related to the feminine left side of the body, which have had varying degrees of success with harmonizing with the right side, which has too much energy? Question mark. Random connection. First thing that came up with a smile. Yeah. Yes. I mean, creativity has to do a lot with feminine energy, male energy too, but uh, particularly in your case, has a lot to do with feminine. And I'll help you a bit here. Uh, Lots and lots of us have programming about feminine and masculine energy and what it's supposed to be and what it is or isn't and whether we can use both. And there's just you cleared a fair amount of programming. I'm going to help you clear a little more, which has been uh, keeping you from having your natural balance on that. And when I say natural balance, in my mind, whether you're a man or woman, the amount of male or female energy you're running at different times ideally flows and balances. So if you're doing something linear and direct, often you want more male energy. If you're doing something more flowing and creative and insightful and leaps, you might want more feminine energy and doing a dance between the two. So if that's helpful. Eileen was saying extremely restless. Could this be the energy? Because I have it often. Yeah, it's you're hitting major resistance, and the resistance is old family programming. I think it's mainly family programming. So with your permission, I'm going to help you clear a bunch of it. But it's programming that puts you in a really small box. And for everybody, family programming that puts us in a small box is often positively intended. So I know, like with my family history, there was a lot of programming. Don't stand out. Don't get noticed. Just kind of blend in, and then they won't attack you, which was true for a lot of the family history. It's like you didn't want most people to particularly notice you, and you certainly didn't want them to think you were doing something really well where they might get jealous. And so I've had to clear a lot of that programming because that's not my world. That's not my life. Um, So you're doing a good job there. And for any of you, feeling extremely restless is a sign of hitting resistance. Now, if you're not sure about that, just kind of ask yourself, um, it's possible. I don't think for anybody on this call, but it's possible it could be just something's not for you. But that feels different than when all this programming kicks up and all of a sudden, you feel restless, or I can't do this, or I can't concentrate, or I get sleepy. That's classic resistance. And resistance is a sign that you're growing, so that's a good thing. Okay, you can let me know how you're feeling, Eileen, but that looks a lot better to me. Let me refresh the comments here, see if there's any more. That's great. Joni's saying, hello, if it helps others. I heard a bell ringing and lots of cheering at the end. I think it's a positive sign. Oh, I think that's great. And I've had similar experience of hearing laughter, cheering, or encouragement. I think that's a very, very positive sign. Okay, let me check our Google Plus people, see if there's more comments. Where'd they go? Oh. I think Google could make things simpler, but apparently not. Give me a minute. Aliki saying, great process, have lots to clear on the subject. Yeah, you did a lot, and you're right, lots more. And this is a very big deal for anybody who has any problem with this, which is a lot of us. It's a very big deal. She said, moved a lot, different from other clearings, very powerful and light energy, saw rainbow drawings. And that's great. And Charlie's saying he feels very sleepy also. Ina's saying, I feel pain in my left shoulder and neck. Let me help you with that. That's a lot of family and ancestral programming. It's kind of a funny mix of programming that tells you sort of have to be successful and programming that says be careful about it. So it's kind of a real foot on the accelerator, foot on the brake. So let me know how you're feeling in a few minutes. I'm helping you with that. Allie's saying, I felt myself expanding sideways, allowing much more space and possibility, but interestingly, not expanding in front or behind. Well, that is very interesting because a lot of us tend to think in terms of, raising energies, lowering energies, or forward or back. But an incredibly important thing is more space for things. And it's hard to complete and finish things if you don't have space in your energy field to do that. So that is one of the things that we're working on, and it looks really, really good to me, Allie. So that sense of it's just there's more space, more room for these things to happen. Lydia's saying, the soles of my feet are so hot like they are on fire. Boy, yeah. It's a mixture of resistance and some very powerful clearing energy. So have a sense of humor about the resistance. And I think that'll make a big difference. Zine is saying, thanks, Art. I'd forgotten just how little energy to use, and that the more playful, the better. Feeling lighter. Alexander is saying, strong throbbing sensation in my third eye, mostly feeling good, though. Yeah, you're doing great work there, Alexander. I'll help you, too. It isn't even so much, some of it's resistance that's clearing in your third eye. Some of it's just kind of sludge or stuff. It's just sort of old stuff, and you're doing a really good job of clearing it. I think over the next few months, that opening in your third eye is going to be really, really amazing. So fantastic. Valerie's saying, Art, I felt a spiral of energy entering my third eye, and energy pulsing all along my spine. I had a pain in my knee, but that went. I could see a cloud of energy flowing in front of my face. Yeah, I don't think there's anything that you're asking to or that I'm going to try to analyze other than to validate it looks fantastic and really good work. And by the way, for sometimes people who don't see or feel energy feel like, oh, nothing's happening for me. Um, some of the most powerful energy work that's ever been done on me, I didn't feel that much. So how much I train people how to see and feel it and observe it and hear it more because there's uses to that, but there's no one-to-one correlation between that and how much change you're getting. So again, some of the biggest changes you'll ever get will happen outside of your awareness. So that's not, it's wonderful when you are aware, but it's not necessary. Lynn's saying, I could feel the energy centers and lots of lighting up as well as lightening up. That's great, lighting up and lightening up. Thank you, Lynn. And let me see, any more. Lynn saying, my neighbor is a director of engineering at Google. We'll give him feedback. Yeah, you can tell him it's getting better, but it's still a lot of things. They keep switching things. And somebody did a video the other day about they've been using this for a while, and then a few days ago they changed something. You can figure out how to do something very simple. Oh, Deborah, you're here. Great. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you're finding. Obviously, you're with us, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But it can get distracting, the technical part of this. But just have a sense of humor about it. It's a miracle that we can do these kind of things. It used to be technologically. I mean, I saw Oprah do one of the first really big video broadcasts years ago with Eckhart Tolle, and the first time completely crashed several times. It's really technologically a big deal. Lisa's saying, feeling a lot of sensation in my throat, more of the glands, is that okay? Yeah, give more permission for that to be cleared. It's not a physical problem, but that energy over many years could cause mild problems. So just really have the intention to let it clear. There's nothing to worry about. It's good that you're aware of it. Okay, give me a moment here. Let me check. You guys are almost ready for the next process, but let me check our Facebook folks. My friend Tim is on this call, and it's always a real treat because Tim and I were in the Boy Scouts together. So it's always a real treat to hear from him. Tim said, deep and enveloping. Anna's saying, I have some pain in both kidneys, but I feel very energized and happy. Yeah, let me help you with that. That has more to do with the family situation that was going on earlier today. You took on a lot of her stuff. So just ground your kidneys and let it go back into the earth. Munira, I'm not sure if I'm saying right. My life feed sadly stopped. Surely that's extreme resistance. Shame as I'd hoped to be in the process. If you are back online, just remember it's all recorded, and for all of you, when you listen to the recording, if you imagine it's happening live right then, it will be. Hazel saying this is great. My feet have swelled up since I signed up for this. Could it be related to creative block? Yeah, maybe not quite that linearly, but it is about the energy shifting. Oh, Eileen's saying now, thank you, Art, have calmed down and feel the energy flowing now. Yeah, you're looking a lot better. Okay, give me 1 minute to check on people again, and then we're going to do our next process. Ina saying, I feel it's still clearing. I was working on her shoulder and neck. Energy working now at crown chakra, thanks. Yeah, you're doing a good job of clearing it, and it's really big stuff. And it's going to, the good news about big, difficult energies and resistance is the payoff in clearing them is huge. So They're worth the trouble. Okay, I will check just one more time on folks, and then people I think will be ready. Again, I'm trying to monitor the group and when you're ready to do the next thing. Yeah, and I'm sorry again if I'm not saying it right, Munira. I'm going to help you a bit with some stuff, and you're right. You hit massive resistance, and if you just heard what I said, um, that's really good. And remember, within a week, you'll all have the recordings, and you can go back and do any part of it. And it's not unusual, particularly, it's not unusual to have technical glitches in any of these works, but those of you that are familiar with energy work, when you're working with a lot of energy, it's amazing what can go on with electronics. I have good stories on that, but not now. So easy deep breaths, everybody. You're all looking ready now. So I'm getting again, the meditation, the energy work will be a combination of clearing more programming and beliefs, healing more old traumas and wounds, opening up more of your natural abilities to joyfully and create and manifest, finish things, and joyfully release them to the world. And part of joyfully releasing them to the world, and this is what we're going to do a lot in this meditation, is really letting it be okay that not everybody's going to like it. That if you're up to anything interesting, not everybody's going to like it. The Impressionist painters that we now think of as some of the greatest painters who ever lived, they were hated and made fun of and reviled in Paris. They couldn't even be shown in art exhibits. People thought their work was just ugly and awful. And we're talking about Degas and Monet and Manet and Gauguin. People now that are considered great masters, they had to put on their own art shows because people wouldn't show their ugly, horrible paintings. And something allowed them to believe in their vision. And of course, now that we've forgotten the people who didn't like their artwork and go to museums to see theirs. But the main point of it is, if you're going to follow your heart's desires, opening up to letting it be okay that everybody doesn't have to like it, or it may take them a while. It's like when a famous musician changes their music or style, sometimes their old fans get really upset, and then a month later they're totally into it. So it's having that, I don't even think it's so much strength of character, but just that willingness to believe in your own heart's desires, your own creativity, and not being closed to feedback, but letting it be okay that people may not get it or understand it. I mean, how many great works of any kind are appreciated many years after they're done? Some of the classic movies and books that we talk about nowadays were very unsuccessful initially. People didn't get it, or they were ahead of the time. So I invite you to have the intention to be really able to put things out in the world and have the compassion to let people like it or not. And the people that like it will come to you, the others won't. Alex Mendoza, who teaches people a lot about things like Google Hangouts and marketing online and stuff, the way he puts it, he goes, when people listen to me, I either want them to turn up the volume or change the channel. One or the other. I either want them to turn it up and go, gee, what's he saying? Or go, I don't like this, I'm going to listen to something else. Oh, great. Marina's saying, I feel more connected. Super smiley face. I know the healing will come. Oh, I'm great. Yeah, I mean, that's great. I'm great. That came out wrong. That's great. Okay, we're just about ready to start. Let me look. Lydia's saying, I use the fire at the soles of my feet to burn the resistance. Yay. Still very hot. Feel lots of laughs, I think. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Okay, everybody. So again, remember, no effort. All you have to do is to have the intention that as a result of this next meditation, you and all of us are going to get a wonderful enhancement in your ability to finish things, release them into the world, and to allow people to like them or not like them, and allow the people who like them to be attracted to you and turn up the volume. And the people that don't like them, allow them to, find something else. That's why that's really lighting up about 40% of us. So that'll be a good one to work on. So we're clearing all these blocks in programming. They're getting replaced by your miraculous self with your inner wisdom and spiritual information. We're opening up your natural flows of finishing things and releasing them. And we're opening up to outside help in all of this. Okay, easy deep breath. And if you're feeling serious, just force a little smile on your face. It physiologically lightens you up. If any resistance comes up, just observe it and recognize it has no real power. Just observe it. And we're going to, just for a few minutes, work with a much more powerful energy. So take an easy deep breath, and it's just going to be for a couple of minutes. One of the things this energy is doing is clearing some karma, changing contracts, if you know what spiritual contracts are. It'll change them whether you know it or not. Remember, your miraculous self is in charge, so the right karma, the right contracts will get shifted. Energy's going back into your childhood to heal you, back into other lives to heal those lives, into the present and future to make the present and future better and better and better. Just about another half minute of this one. Oop, nope, that was enough. Take an easy deep breath. Let the earth reground you because that was a very high frequency energy. And now I'd like you to think of the energies coming in like a symphony, and that your miraculous self is the conductor. So there's a whole variety of energies coming in. And just like with a symphony, your conductor can go, okay, more trumpets, more violins, cue the drums, let's hear some oboes. So this energetic symphony is playing throughout your body and energy field, clearing, healing, opening, enhancing. Now the energy is going to shift again. Energies coming in now are very, very ancient on one level, though of course they're timeless and they exist the past, present, future. They were quite ancient on the earth, long before the Egyptians and what we think of as the old cultures. Okay, let's let that energy wind down. Dissolve your grounding. Let the earth give you a new grounding in present time. And here's what I'd like to do. We're running a bit late, so I'm going to answer a couple of questions and officially end this, but I'm going to stay on a bit longer for people who have more questions or comments. On both Facebook and on the Google Plus, I put in this long link. If you have like a video camera set up in your computer, if you want to come on and you'll actually be, everybody will be able to see you. If I click, if you come on and I get a chance to call on you, and if you want to ask me questions or share experiences, that would be great. It's sort of fun to have a few people do that, but we'll do it after we officially end. So, and there's several minutes worth of energy things we need to do before we end to make sure everybody's in a good place. I did want to say a couple of things. What we've been doing today, you're going to be processing this for probably at least 48 hours, maybe longer. And if you're doing anything after the call that requires safety, like if you're driving, some of you it's pretty late in the evening, and some of us, like for me, it's about 1:20 in the afternoon. If you're doing anything that requires safety, I'm going to ask your unconscious mind and your miraculous self to turn down the processing so that you're grounded, safe, alert. And then tonight when you go to sleep, that's a perfect time to turn the processing back up. One thing that neuroscientists have discovered is that every night when we sleep, we automatically review the day. The unconscious mind reviews the day and we learn from it. And I've been staring at what you guys wrote on the screen. Sorry, there's your eyeballs. And it's just an automatic process. I'd like you to set the intention and give permission that tonight and for the next 4 nights at least, that when your unconscious mind reviews the day, it works with your miraculous self and takes what we've done and enriches it, enhances it, removes any programming that I put in your space and replaces it with your inner wisdom and your spiritual information. So that's really important. It all gets infused with your inner wisdom and spiritual information. And it's made higher and wider and deeper and more multidimensional. And this can happen automatically while you sleep soundly and deeply. You'll probably wake up in the morning feeling refreshed. And sometimes people have this kind of vague sense like they've been given a gift or something has happened, but they don't know what it is. And if your unconscious mind and your miraculous self wants you to know what it is consciously, it'll show up over the coming days. Otherwise, just enjoy an elegant, graceful change. So again, while you sleep over the next 4 nights, part of the time, your unconscious mind and miraculous self will enhance what we've done. And I highly, once you have copies of the replay, I really recommend that you listen to it again at least once. You don't have to listen to all the beginning part again necessarily, though it might be helpful. But these processes, the more you repeat them, the more powerful they are. I'll also remind you on my website, which is all you have to do is to go to ENLP for Energetic NLP, the number is 7.com. And if you sign up, there's free audios and videos. You can also sign up at my UK sponsors, which is solar-events.co.uk, solar-events.co.uk, because we have some other material on there. And I often offer both paid, but I offer a lot of free teleworkshops, and there's going to be more of these video workshops now that I'm figuring out how to do it. And some of them you'll hear about from my site, some you'd hear about from Solar. So it's worth being on both if you're enjoying this. And of course, we love you to death. Well, we love you to death anyways, and we especially love you to death if you let other people know about what we're doing. That's always very helpful. And so we're going to do just a couple of things to finish up, but I will stay on the line for anybody who wants to either chat or wants to go join the video and ask a question, and I'll be able to click on you. I just want to say to Alejandra, great question. It's a little beyond what we can do right now, other than if you go to my website, or I also have a lot of YouTube videos, and look at the ones on clearing energy. So she was asking about, and this is, a lot of people have this issue with, we tend to go from thing to thing to thing. We have a wide variety of interests, and the problem for us is focusing. And you could use those clearing energy videos to help you clear not the desire to have a wide interest, but what causes you to leap between things, because that's a big problem for a lot of us. And that ability to focus is important. Allie's saying, thank you so much, Art. This has been a lovely session. It feels so important. I got the space in front of me as well. That's great. Allie's one of the early energetic NLP people, so it's a thrill to hear from her. And okay, let me check again on Facebook, and then we'll do a couple of quick things to finish up that are important and fast. Hazel saying, my palms were really hot and buzzing throughout the whole of this part. At the end of it, I was in an ancient wood with massive trees. Fantastic. Boy, the energy of that image is, thank you for mentioning it. When people mention things like that, you don't jump in their space, but you can ask if that energy is good for you to just have it connect with something similar, and that's a fabulous energy. Thank you. I'm feeling very peaceful right now. I felt a lot of energy moving clear. I also have a lot of family patterns, especially lately as I try to build my own business. It is really holding me back. Lots of pain in the left sacrum. I'd listen to this again. Also, I have audios either on CD or they can be downloaded of a workshop I did on clearing ancestral programming. You would probably find that very helpful. So that's another option. Okay, so I'd like everybody to imagine a gold ball of energy above their head. We've been mingling our energies, and we want to separate back out. So let's dissolve our group energy space, and when you listen to the recording again, it will get recreated, and that was that gold ball. So let's dissolve it. Put a gold ball above your head and let it function like a magnet, and pull your energy back from everybody else's space on the call, especially mine. And I'm going to pull my energy out of your space and my programming out of your space. And let your gold ball clean up your energy and charge it up. And if it's really your energy, it just gets sent right down into your body, an energy field. If it's not, if it was never really yours, send it into the earth, and the earth will recycle it. Also have the intention that your miraculous self, because there's more space in your energy field, is going to bring more of your true energy, your true essence into your space. And again, your miraculous self knows how to do that. And it can also bring in supportive earth and universal energies that will help you. You've all been doing a lot of changing. So something we do a lot in the programs is, you know how when you change your email address, you send out this broadcast email, and you're just telling people you have a new email address. You're not asking for validation or permission or encouragement. You're just going, if you want to contact me in the future, this is where I am. Well, you all are changing your energy addresses, becoming more authentic, but it can confuse people, and even pets and plants. Sometimes people, their pets look at them funny for a while. So imagine you're sending out these energy emails, and you're just telling everybody, hi, this is how to find me now. And your miraculous self will fill that in for you. And just send it out to everybody in your life, clients, prospects, bosses, employees, family, friends, plants, animals. Well, I want to thank you. I'm sorry I'm rushing now, but I know we're running quite late. So I want to thank you all so much for being part of this, for putting up with the technology, helping me learn it. You had a wonderful group energy, very supportive of each other, yourselves, and me. I hope you will be on other of these video workshops. There's going to be a lot more of them. If you're intrigued, if you like this, you love the trainings and the live workshops that are being done mainly in the United States and the UK right now. And I'm going to be scheduling a bunch more in the US for the fall. And there's a lot coming up in the UK. So I want to thank you a million times. Feel free to drop me an email and let me know what happens after this. My email is art, A-R-T, at energeticnlp.com, which is energeticnlp.com. And then for any of you that can stay on, you can either use the comment box, or if you want to try coming onto the video with me, use that link that I put into Facebook. You can tell it's my link because there's a little picture of me. And if you click on that, it'll ask you if you want to join the call. And then you won't immediately be on the video. I would need to click on you. And the same with the people on Google+. So thank you so much. I'm quite buzzing from the energy myself. And there's some creative projects that are really up for me to finish and release now. So thank you. One of the things in Energetic NLP is we actually encourage people to work with other people on things that they want to work on too. And what happens is wonderful resonance develops and everybody improves. So a million thanks, and let's see if anybody's joining the videos. Okay, and if not, I'm just going to go through some of the chats. I keep finding electric switches that want to be turned on. I think I switched on about 5 or 6 of them. Don't know what they were, but it felt right. Well, that's a great image. Fantastic. And also, I didn't know you could comment directly on YouTube, so that's great. And also, Art, this is so timely because I just finishing up my first book. Yay. And we'll be releasing it soon. So much more behind this one waiting to come forth. Exciting time to live in. Fantastic. Okay, let me see if I can find the other chats here. Give me a moment. Oh, I know what I do need to do. I'm sorry. Got myself confused. Of course, I should be having somebody being the producer, but maybe in the future. Lynn's saying, with gratitude and appreciation for the contribution you are to me personally and to the world. Well, thank you, Lynn. It's putting a big smile on my face. Okay, let's see if there's anything else here. Remember, you're hearing me about a minute later than I'm speaking, so great to get those comments in quickly, or I'll think everybody's cooked. Oh, thank you. Sorry. Oh, okay, there's somebody. Oh, Valerie, let me click on you. Somebody being the producer. Then saying, with gratitude and appreciation for the contribution you are to me personally Oh, shoot. Hang on, Valerie. I did something wrong here. So I think we can hear you, Valerie, if you want to talk.
Hi.
Hi.
Remember, you're hearing me.
Yeah. Oh, if you can turn your speakers down for a bit, because we're hearing that too.
Is that better?
That's much better. So, question, comment.
Okay.
Oh, now you can't hear me. turn,
Is
turn the
that
speakers
okay?
up a bit. There we go. I wasn't thinking. So, what can we do for you, Valerie?
While we were doing some of the exercises, I got a pain in my lower back and
Hmm.
in my hips and all down my right leg, and it felt like there was a blockage there.
Yeah, there were some blockages, and also, are you familiar with the idea of energy cords?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a number of energy cords that got all lit up. And I'm going to help you clear some more of that.
Thank you.
And that's a good thing. I mean, because you want to light them up so you can clear them. A lot of people just cut cords. I don't recommend that because uh, it doesn't get to the root of the problem. So in energetic NLP, we first clear what the cords are hooked into, and then release the cords. Because otherwise, you're leaving opportunities for new cords.
Right.
How's that feeling now? It's not done, but it's clearing.
It's still a bit thick at the moment, but I suppose it'll clear as
Yeah, let me
time
do a
goes on.
little bit more. A lot of family stuff, but other people in your life too. It's all well intended. You know, people who think they're helping. You know, everybody has opinions about what we should or shouldn't do and all that.
I've got the ancestral workshop. Will going through that help?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Wonderful.
I'll do a little bit more here. Okay, it's still in process, but that looks significantly better. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels a bit looser now. I
Okay.
think it's coming through. It's been a long time. I've had a lot of problems with my lower legs, feeling like this same sort of a stiffness, as though my legs are like tree trunks.
Yeah, and some of that's the cords, some of it's some other energies, and it looks like some of it is just to be good if you did more yoga or stretching or something.
Laziness.
Yeah. So there is a physical part, but there's a lot of stuck energy. We'll clear some of that and then these cords. Okay, well, I hope that will be helpful.
I wonder if I could ask you. I have a lot of like hot sweats, and I know some parts of it were hormonal, but I feel like other parts are energetic. Can you feel anything about that?
Um, yeah, you know, it's a bit off topic for what we're doing, but yes, some of it's, you're right, and some of it's energetic, some of it's hormonal. So again, using some of those videos on my site or YouTube that help you clear energy will be helpful with it.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks. And then if you uh, can click you off, thank you very much.
Thank you. That was wonderful.
Okay. Let me. Oh, there I am. Oh, okay, I'm back. And again, if anybody else wants to come on, and apparently you don't have to have video, so that's cool. Um, but I'm going to ask you, Valerie, to go ahead and click off of that. Otherwise, we'll keep hearing your speaker. So
Okay.
you just come back to the chat. Thank you. So again, if anybody else, so that's good to know. You don't have to have video. You can just come in audio. So I'm going to check one more time, see if there's any other questions or comments, and then let you guys go. Oh, okay, 1 second. Somebody said you are good. Thank you. Arlette is saying, I've been having excruciating pain today, some residue still present. Can you help bring awareness and increase something? Yeah, let me help you with that. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the idea of an internal conflict, and there's energetic NLP processes for that, but you've got a 3 or 4 part internal conflict. Most of the energy around it, though, isn't yours, so I'm going to help you clear what isn't yours around it. But that's where the pain is coming from, is this sort of battle going on inside. Another person, thanks, Art, hoping that I can enjoy using my creativity again. Miss that excitement and zip that used to be there. Yeah, I think you're on your way. I would listen to this again in a week or two, and but I think over the coming weeks and months, it's going to go way up for you. And it could be faster than that, but I think you sort of bottomed out with it. And now you're coming up, so it looks good. Desiree saying hi from Paris. Jealous. Just saw some impressionistic paintings today at the Louvre. Oh, fantastic. I definitely find it challenging to be confident about presenting my choreography at times. And I remember saying, when the whole impressionist thing fascinated me, and I used to ask people, what do you think allowed them to have the strength of character to keep doing it their way, in spite of the fact that people didn't believe in them? And one person made a very interesting comment, and he said, what makes you think they could do it any other way? Maybe they were just driven to do it their way, and it wasn't about strength of character or being confident. It just had to. And I think there was a lot of truth to that. And particularly when you take things that are as subjective as choreography, where you're obviously not going to please everybody. I would suggest you just have the goal of opening up to just doing it really from your miraculous self, your heart's desires. And again, the people that like it will want to see more, and the people who don't like it don't have to see it anymore. And I'm not being cavalier. It makes us all crazy, but we can get to that point where we're really driven to fulfill our vision, and we're not hostage to other people having to like it. I don't remember who said it, but some businessman once was saying something about leadership, and he goes, what ruins some leaders, he goes, is they have a crippling need to be liked. A crippling need to be liked. And he wasn't advocating not being liked as a leader, but just saying that you have to be willing to follow your intuition. Yes, somebody's saying trying out this box. Oh, Lucy, yes, it does work. It popped up, so I don't know where it came from, but that's great. That does work. So I'll have to investigate that myself. So I hope that I'm going to help you a bit energetically with this, Desiree, but it looks like it's part of your spiritual journey to be able to more and more do, again, it's not about ignoring feedback, but particularly creatively doing what you feel. And in choreography, as in so many other fields, a lot of the great choreographers, at first people didn't like them, and some people never liked them. Some of you may know who Isaac Stern was, and I think he died in the 90s or something, but he was like one of the greatest violinists in the 20th century. And I saw him perform live a couple of times, and one or two of the times it was like Beethoven's violin concerto and stuff, and I completely loved it. And then another time he did this violin concerto by a contemporary master composer that was written for him. And it was interesting. I can't say that I liked it. And I remember telling people later, I have full faith that if Isaac Stern thinks it was good, that the problem wasn't that it wasn't good, it was just I'm not sophisticated enough to get it. It was a very modern piece of music. And I'm sure he knew that a lot of the audience, we'd all get Beethoven, but he was willing to take a chance and do something that only really the more sophisticated people would be able to understand it musically, and maybe someday I'll be able to do that. So, for whatever helpfulness that is. Okay, let me see if there's anything else here. Then we'll go ahead and finish up pretty quick. All right. And check the Facebook folks. Oh, I meant the Google Plus folks. That's what I meant. Lucy's saying, thanks, Art. Went under a good part of the time. Feels really good. I'm glad of that. Lone is saying, thank you, Art. Blessings. You're welcome. Aliki saying, wonderful experience. Thank you, Art. As always, I'm happier, lighter, and inspired after training with you. Well, thank you. Zena is giving me 2 X's. Thank you. Really enjoyed the call. No vid on the PC, or would give you vid to practice with. Thanks. At this point, Charlie, we're going to be ending up, but you will be able to get the replay. Okay, well, it looks like people are pretty much done. So thank you all very, very much, and thank you for helping me learn this complicated system. And in the future, it's going to get smoother and smoother, the sign up and everything. So I've learned a lot. It's wonderful to be with all of your energy. And, oh, wait a minute. Might be one video person. No. Okay, well, thank you all so much. And do feel free to send me emails and let me know how this is working for you. And do listen to this again sometime in the next month. Okay, well, this is Art Giser. Thanking you so much and looking forward to what you're going to release into the world. Bye.